Today's story comes to you from small town Kentucky. And it's about a small family and friend get together where everything is going beautifully. I mean, everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time, sharing old memories, making new memories. Couldn't go any better until it takes a very, very, very wrong turn. The year is 1955, and Billy Ray and his wife are out of town visiting their friend Glennie. Glennie's a very old school type of person. I mean, she's living as bare bones as you can live in 1955. She has no running water. She has no television. She has no radio. And it's about 7 o'clock, so everybody's getting ready to settle in for the night. So Billy goes out back to the well. He gets the water, just to last him throughout the night, when suddenly he looks toward the sky and he sees something that is mysterious as hell. What Billy sees is a concentrated barrage of colors. It wasn't a rainbow, nor was it fireworks. And suddenly it landed behind their house near the gully. Billy's veins go cold. He freaks out. He hauls ass inside and he tells everybody. Because it wasn't just Glennie and his wife there, but Glennie's sons as well as their wives and their children were there too, but nobody believed him. He was all animated and freaking out, and they were like, "You saw a shooting star, sir. You didn't see anything else." But Glennie's son Lucky actually believed him, or he was skeptical enough to go outside to investigate. So both of the men grab rifles and go investigate. They open the screen door, they step out to the porch. They step off of the porch and all they hear is their dog barking like a broken record, as if he saw something that he's never saw before, or he's guarding his last dog treat with his life. And they start scouring and searching that property with a fine-tooth comb. And initially, they don't see anything until they hear sounds in the woods. And unfortunately, it is so dark outside that you barely can see 3 feet ahead of you. When this creature appears, it stands at about 3.5 feet tall, with a large head and unproportionately large ears, skin that's almost metallic looking. The men panic. Their heart drops to their stomach. They look at that porch and they sprint to it like they were Olympians. We don't have to live like this, y'all. We don't have to stay. We don't have to try to be Ghostbusters. We don't have to try to be Scooby-Doo. We are not really detectives. So I think the best thing to do is leave the get-together. I mean, I would get all of my shit together and get going. That's what makes sense to me. I would not go into the house and become the test subject for 3 feet aliens, whether they are really aliens or not, because I can just get in my car and go home. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna follow me home, especially if I live in a residential area. Like, you don't want to get caught. You don't want us to see you, right? That's what I would do. I would leave. So I would hope that these people have sense. They're playing a dangerous game. They get on the porch, they go to open the door, and one of those creatures' hands comes down and grabs a grip of Billy Ray's hair. Billy's screaming and hollering. Lucky pulls out the rifle and he takes aim. He shoots. Creature's gone. Then he sees another creature in the trees and he takes a shot at that one too while he's at it. But this one didn't fall down or do anything crazy. It slowly floated toward the ground and scurried off into the forest. They finally get into the house. When they got inside, you'd think that they were safe because they're behind lock and key. They didn't feel safe. Matter of fact, they probably were even more scared since they were confined. They saw shadows, they saw hands in the windows, they saw faces, they saw all types of things happening. And when they see it, it's not like they'd ignore it, they shoot. But every time they shoot them, they disappear. So it's like an IRL version of whack-a-mole that you cannot win. So at some point, they're like, we gotta end this. It's been going on far too long. Matter of fact, it was going on for 4 hours. So they all hopped in the cars, packed in like sardines, and went to the police station. They made it to the police station at about 11 o'clock, and the police chief, Chief Greenwell, was extremely surprised, to say the least. I mean, because these people were not the types to run to the police for help. If anything, they'd grab a handgun, they'd grab a rifle and take care of it themselves, and just maybe they'd report it to the police. But here we are, it's after 11 o'clock, and we have multiple generations of a family in the lobby of a police station, and everyone is shook. They are physically unwell. It's written all over their faces, from the youngest to the oldest. So much so that the police chief actually had one of his officers take the pulse of one of the grown men there. And the man's pulse was 140. 60 to 100 is a regular resting rate, but at 140, that suggests physical exertion, but we all know there was no exertion. That was pure fear and adrenaline running through that man's veins. Police chief called him back up. So now, state troopers, city police, military police from the local base, Fort Campbell, are all arriving at Glenny's house to do a very thorough search. They searched for over 2 hours, and they found the bullet holes, they found the casings, but they didn't find any creatures, and there was nothing in the gully. Nor did they find drugs or alcohol. So they left that night feeling like there was nothing left to investigate. It is worth noting that one of the sergeants said he saw something odd glowing in the woods. He didn't know what to make of that. And a trooper that was on the way to the house saw lights fly from out of the tree line and into the sky. But besides that, there was nothing else that they reported to see. By about 2 a.m., the police had already left, and by 3:30, the neighbors reported that the creatures returned. Glenny and her family went back that morning, packed up their bags, and got the hell out of Dodge, at least temporarily. And within days, the story went national. Now, when the story went national, it was completely sensationalized. They said these creatures had green skin, kind of like the aliens and Martians you would see in popular media back in that time period. And instantly, people thought it was a hoax. And it did not help. It did not help that Glenny opened up her farmhouse and charged people money to visit it. But her story remained consistent throughout the years. Even on her deathbed, her story did not change.